Romo. Sergio, tell us a little, how's your morning been now that you're at the facility?
Wow. It took us a minute to get here. The excitement is, and it's creating a lot of buzz around here. The traffic coming into this area, it was really gnarly, as I would put it, pretty insane. But yeah, today's been great. Just watching the cars come out right now to get back to pulling out right now, it was pretty cool. Watching the reaction of my sons. I got three of my oldest boys here with me, and it's been quite the adventure.
Right, it's something different.
Yes.
I know you had a small role in 2013 in the NASCAR Mexico series. Tell us everything about that, and now coming back to the States.
Okay, get an opportunity to be in Mexico and seeing how the sport has reached out there and the excitement for the sport out in Mexico. Being honored in the way that I was and received in the way that I was, it was what you call one of those very unique and a rare opportunity. So when I got the phone call about this, I was like, hey, I'm there. Can I bring my sons this time? But the fact that NASCAR, it's really reached, it's worldwide now, you know, and the attention that it's getting, to see the excitement from my fellow countrymen in Mexico like that, this is dope. This is super.
That's great. So now my question is, how important is the crossover between every other sport with NASCAR? How important do you think it is as a player yourself that you were now having this opportunity?
Well, the fact that, been blessed before to meet guys like Kyle Busch and to be able to shake their hands and think, oh man, I've been watching you on TV forever, and you've been solid the whole way through. Like, that's pretty awesome. Getting the fact that you can. There's interest, there's excitement for it, although I'm not as good behind the wheel as these guys are, and I don't understand the logistics of the aerodynamics of the cars and every single thing like that, but there's still excitement towards NASCAR. There's still excitement towards the fact that these are athletes trained in a different way. To be able to sit there and say that I could ever learn to do what they do, nah, there's just no shot, So, and then it gives us an opportunity to share stories as well and share our story with them and be able to sit there and say, hey, look, this is what I train for. This is the mindset. And then it's kind of fun at times to see how they relate. The mindsets, the approaches, the trainings, maybe not as rigorous as theirs, breathing and the pressure and the G-force training, all that, but I get it, but it just shows that, that we're pretty special in our own right individually, so I don't know if this is cool.
That's great. I know you've had multiple roles in life in general, right? And then now you're adding this one to your resume. But you also, can you tell us more about your next actual role in life? I know, as an analyst.
Wow. Blessed with an amazing career. The fact that I was able to last for 15 years at the highest level, it's still hard for me to believe. I'm not a big guy in stature, but to be able to compete at that level for that long, I feel extremely blessed. Now it's basically been playing dad. I've been given the opportunity now to do some pre and post game analysts for the Giants, NBC Sports Bay Area. I've done a handful of shows already, and it's something new and it's something exciting. It's something that's got me nervous. Just the unknown and the willingness to somebody to give me an opportunity to learn more about myself in a different field, in a different field. And it's cool. I respect you guys way more, by the way. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that just doesn't really go said about, doesn't go spoken about, and the preparation, the homework, having to know who every player is, what number, where they came from, where they just had, the game they just had, the last 5 games, it's pretty cool to see that side of the spectrum.
All right, perfect. We're gonna open it up to questions. Carl, we'll start up in front with Napa.
Sergio, Kyle Foster, Napa Sports News. I'm curious, the Giants did a Fan Fest tour this year. It included a stop in Napa. What were your thoughts on that, and is it something they should continue to keep doing?
I thought it was really cool. Coming in as a player and having just one set day and it being complete mayhem, 40,000, 50,000 people showing up at, when I was here, it was AT&T Park, Oracle Park, we'll say. Having that mayhem, I thought it was a lot more controlled and a lot cooler and a lot more personal. You're able to show a more personal side with the fan base and be able to connect a little bit, to give you a little bit more time when it's specific stops like that. I thought it was well done. I was part of the one, go figure, I was part of the one still at the stadium in San Francisco. But I thought it was fun. It gives us as players too, it gave us an opportunity to see other areas and other situations, other atmospheres, and seeing how far our reach really does extend. You know, the fan base is tremendous, so I thought it was a good idea.
And then my second one is, what are your thoughts on Bob Melvin, how the team is going? We're about halfway through the season now. They've already won the series this week in Arlington over Bruce Bochy's team. What are your thoughts on how they're doing so far?
I've been saying it all season long. Once they figure out who they are as an identity, as a team, identity-wise, they're going to be known for pitching and defense or playing small ball. Like when, you know, we were making our runs, we were playing Bochy ball is what they called it. You know, so stressful, a little stressful baseball, but. They're starting to find that identity. Some of these young guys are really starting to establish themselves. Ramos is having a tremendous year so far since being called up. I know Matos just got sent down, but he's just showing flashes of greatness. You got Yaz starting to come around. You have Bailey starting to be the figure that they were hopeful for when they drafted him in the first round a few years ago. So like you're watching the pitching. Logan Webb starting to really get in the groove and start showing why he's a perennial ace. I mean, it's not surprising that the team has shown glimpses of greatness because they have the tools to be a very solid team, very competitive team. So again, seeing it from my perspective, now, the side view as a fan, they got some things to be very excited about. And again, once they can get healthy, fully healthy, which is hard to do in the big leagues at any point and for any team, but getting healthy, continuing to pitch, continuing to play that small ball producing when they need it for the manufacturing runs, I think they're gonna be good down the stretch.
Up here in the front and then PRN.
Hey Sergio, right here, Keenan O'Doherty, Press Democrat. You mentioned the crossover a little bit between sports and everything like that, so the question is pretty simple. Would you rather strike out Miguel Cabrera to win the World Series or drive 110 miles per hour on this track?
Oh, wow. I've never driven 110 miles an hour on this track. Just to sit there and say that I did sit there, that I've been there, done that, I would love to be able to get behind the wheel and just go flying around this course, the track. I say course because I'm a golfer now. To be able to fly around the track like this and have full control and the full understanding of what I'm doing, I could only imagine what that excitement is, the adrenaline rush of that, being blessed, the experiences I was blessed with. It's hard for me to sit there and say also that I would change anything that was come my way. Love being a world champion, love being able to say that I was a part of 3 World Series champion winning teams, but to be able to sit there and say also that I won like the Indy 500 or something, like, or I won like like the Bristol or something, like that'd be pretty dope too,
Thank you.
PRN.
Alan Cavana, PRM right here. As a professional athlete, what do you think of the pre-race scene, with how close everyone is to the drive and the access? What do you think of that?
Yeah.
As someone who's been in the clubhouse and all that stuff.
That's been one of the most exciting parts about it. It's very, like I said earlier, the word would be personable, but it feels very personal here. It feels very upfront and upfront. Watching the cars pull out right now and just watching all the tools and the big old boxes on wheels. I'm not even sure what those things are, but they were pushing those things around. Getting able to see how everyone's uniformed, the crews are uniformed and they're all coordinated and they have their routines. It kind of did remind me a little bit of the way we worked. Was you show up a specific time, you go through your specific routines, you check off all the boxes, and then when, I guess for racing now, when the green flag comes out, for us throwing that first pitch, like it's, then it's go, obviously. So it's kind of cool that there's some sense of correlation to it in with the routines, with the processes, like everything has its, everyone's doing their due diligence to make sure that race day is It's on point. So it's been fun.
We'll do Kevin Cole back to Sacramento. So we have your affiliate down there, man. We love the Giants. So, what do you tell these young pitchers if you have the pressure of playing in the most extreme games? What do you tell these young pitchers now coming up? And how do they handle the pressure?
I mean, most minor league stadiums don't have a third deck, and that is one of the things that you notice. Well, at least when I noticed at first, when I got called to the field, it's like, well, there's a third deck. Well, those lights are a little bit brighter. But I had the great advice of being told that the game doesn't change. No matter what league, no matter what level, pitchers are supposed to throw strikes and get outs. Hitters are supposed to get on base, score runs. Defenders are supposed to defend, field their position, help get outs. And then relievers, again, they're like pitchers, they're supposed to just set the tone, throw strikes and get out. So, all right. Right here, play the game. That, you know what I'm saying? Like every one of I tell them also too, every one of us here, we're here for a reason. So the question if anybody is good, can this guy play this game? Can this guy play? It's a waste of time if you ask me. Why? None of us would be where we're at if we didn't bring anything to the table. So my question is now, well, who's that player with the big league ability? Who's this guy that now that if things were to get thick and we're working hard and we're getting in a tough spot, like who am I going to turn to and rely upon? Like who's that guy? So it's just a matter of just being yourself and showing people what you have, confidently, of course. Sure.
Vanessa Romo here with Fox 40.
Hey,
Hi.
that's what's up.
You kind of touched on it a bit, but what is your assessment of Rockland native who grew up just 2 hours from here, Logan Webb? What is your assessment of him this season and the rest of the pitchers for the Giants?
Well, I mean, if you look at Logan, he's again showing why he's top 5 starting pitcher in my eyes in the whole entire league. There's reasons why he finished second last year in Cy Young, and he hasn't slowed down. The one thing that I feel he's showing again now is he's showing that he can still improve. I still feel he's still figuring out exactly who he is. He's getting a better idea, but I don't feel we've even seen the best of what Logan can really be up to this point. And I feel that this season he's also doing something that he hasn't been asked to do before, and that's be a leader in the clubhouse. He's really taken the reins from what I've seen in the conversations I've had with him and other players. Like, he's really taken on that leadership role. He's taken it and not in a way where he's unsure of how to do it. He's just being himself, and he's just naturally that man. So I think he's been doing great. He's starting to really catch them, airing themselves right now too. His last couple of starts have been, you're looking at him going, all right, bet. Like that's, how does Compton say it on TV? Don't waste the ace. So when he's on the mound, they don't waste that card, and it's fun to watch this team as a general start to really come together and, catch some steam. So, and then it's not surprising again that Logan's in the front leading that way. Tom.
Tom Zaleski, Sergio, for the record, I am still depressed to this day that we beat the Tigers in 2010.
No.
Sorry, man.
I mean, part of me, as soon as you said, I'm a little, I went, he's probably a Tigers fan.
Bingo.
It just kind of happens. That's just kind of what it is.
You get that good instinct.
I get that more often than not. If you really, I'm a big fan of yours, but what you did in 2012, I was like, Tigers fan.
But that does lead to my question a little bit. What was the transition like from leaving the field and latching onto the broadcasting role?
Oh my goodness. Leaving the field, my boys, they've made it very easy for me to walk away. I'm proud to say that I haven't missed the grind. I haven't missed being a baseball player. Maybe having a sanctuary, like a clubhouse where I can go over the field and have have a place where I can have my friendships, my relationships all in one, and then go to battle with the homies like that. That's probably what I miss most. But from a playing standpoint, I don't miss it at all. The transition for me has been a lot easier than I actually thought it would be myself. And then now doing a little bit of the analyst stuff. I was nervous at first. I was very nervous, but being one thing I was told throughout my whole career that if you ain't nervous, it means you don't care. It means it doesn't doesn't strike you, it doesn't matter. So.
Anybody give you a good piece of advice along the way to help you relax?
Oh goodness, yes. J.T. Snow, Sean Estes, George Contos, Randy Wayne, those guys. Just having conversations with them, and they've told me that I have the personality for it. I'm confident on the mound. Why can't I be confident on stage? You know, I've always been confident in my own skin and unafraid to show what you see is what you get. So that helped me out a lot. You know, slow down too. The mind wants to go a million miles an hour, and you want to say everything at once. But so many cool things to say on air, I thought. And then when you get in the moment, the red light turns on. It's like whoa, and then you say it all at once. You're like, whoa. You understood me, right? And they started thinking around like, you guys got understood what I said, right?
Have you done your pace laps and is your mind going a million miles an hour when you're in the car driving around?
I don't know. Have yet. I will venture to say that the being behind a wheel on a place that guys are going way faster than I know I can handle. You know, I mean, I heard Matt Cain's around here learning how to be one of these kind of drivers. So I don't know. Maybe it's possible for me to be not be nervous behind the wheel, but being on this with no real coaching or no real like experience, like it's a little nerve-wracking.
Final question up here in the front.
Hey Sergio, Curtis Bischoff, Mercury News. You know, you talk about being an analyst. There's a bit of a fine line. You want to be honest, but you know, I mean, how is that balance as far as you know, you just sort of that knowing what you know and wanting to be honest as well, I guess.
As a player, I used to watch pre and post game. Why? It's not that I cared what they say, but I cared what they say or how they said it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it, that type of thing. So now I'm on the other side, and I can have a conversation. I've had conversations through text or on the phone with players this season, and I've let them know, like, hey, like, this is what I thought. I know I said this on air, and I didn't mean this. I meant what I said, but there was also this. You know, and I think there is a fine line. You want to respect the players. You want to respect the guys in the gauntlet. You know, and doing it in the ground because it's not easy. You know, it's not easy at all. We're thinking, feeling, and have different abilities in different situations, cause different stresses and excitements and whatnot. And so we all handle all that differently. But being on the other side and having to speak about it, yeah, I've had to tippy-toe a little bit up to this point. Just it's something new also. But I also want to show the guys that, I mean, these guys are my friends too. Like I played with some of these guys, still not that far removed. So being able to speak to them and tell them honestly how I feel on a personal level means a lot because then they know that when I go on air, they know that I'm going to do what I can to be honest, but at the same time, I'm not going to go disrespect. No, I'm not going to try to bury anybody. And if I do have something more serious to say, I feel privileged to be able to say that I can text these men when I can call them and we can have those conversations more on a friend level.
When was the first time you really started to follow or just notice NASCAR? And did you have any teammates who were big time?
Oh goodness, teammates, yes. Oh my goodness, I've had a few teammates that are super excited about NASCAR. I mean, I just mentioned one not too long ago. He's out here driving, trying to become one. It seems like Matt Cain was one of those guys. I've had conversations with like Todd Wellemeyer. For me personally, though, I started following it more. Let's see. I mean, it's hard to not think of the Earnhardt family in general. I don't necessarily go as far back as Dad, but Junior, you know, is cool to follow Junior in that Budweiser car. Jeff Gordon, you know, those guys are Hall of Famers now, right? But either way, my excitement is more so that they can do something that even if I practice, I don't believe I can ever do, and they can do it at a level even multiplied on top of that, you know. So it's dangerous, it's exciting, it's exhilarating, and it's fun to watch the skill that they have, you know, creating the draft and the way they maneuver on the court, on the track course. Listen to do that again, on the track. It's hard to not get excited about it. You can see that there's fire. I mean, every now and then you get the excitement in pit row. They always have the camera on that. It's pretty cool to watch. But to be honest, it's more so just not expertise or a lot of knowledge about it, but there's an understanding that it's something unique, it's something fun. Fun to watch, something competitive. You can learn some things watching these guys drive. You know, the way they maneuver going high, you know, trying to pass them on the high, but they'll show you low, get you to bite, and all of a sudden they're gone. You know, don't push me into the wall, because then they don't like that either. That type of stuff. So it's NASCAR's dope. I really enjoy it.
Well, we appreciate the time, Sergio. Have fun out there, and best of luck.